Hi guys, welcome to and welcome back to my channel. So have you ever wondered how to pace yourself for a 5k race? It's a very difficult kind of race to actually get the right sort of pace because it's quite a short, long distance race, so it's very difficult to know if you should go out too quickly or too slowly or how to pace yourself. And it's a problem which everyone has. I even struggle with it personally. So stay tuned because I'm going to explain to you different ways how you can pace yourself for a 5k race. So firstly is doing a positive split, which is when you run the first half of your race faster than you run the second half of your race. This can work for some people, but personally for me, this is actually quite a difficult way to do it because you'll be doing the first 2.5Ks quite a significant amount quicker than you will be the second half. So you're going to need to be running quicker than your pace. If you're running an even time and you're running each pace the same for each K, you're going to need to be running quicker than that. So for example, if you're wanting to run a 30-minute 5k, if you're just wanting to get a nice even time for each and every K, you'll need to be running a 6-minute K pace, and that will give you bang on the dot 30 minutes. But because you're going to have the second half slower, how you're going to have to do it is you're going to have to run the first half at maybe closer to a 30-minute K pace in order for you to be able to slow down in the second half and still get that 30-minute. And if you don't have the leg strength or if you're not quite fit enough, this may not work for you. But this, for some people, if you have the speed in your legs, this may be a perfect technique for you, which you can increment into your runs. Secondly, is using a negative split, which this is a lot easier, even though it's quicker in the second half. That's how this works. So you run the first half at your pace or slightly below it, so slightly slower, or you run it at your pace and then your second half is quicker than that. So again, let's use 30 minutes. So you have your 6-minute K pace for maybe the first half, for your first 2.5 to 3k, and then the last 2k you're going to be running quicker, so not much quicker, maybe just a 5:55, which is 5 seconds quicker, and then over that 2k to go, that is 10 seconds off, so that's going to give you a little bit inside and it's just going to make you that time a little bit quicker. Or if you do the maths before the race, you work out a certain pace which you're going to speed up to in the second half and the first half. If you run maybe a 6:05 for the first half whilst your legs are still warming up, and then when you're warmer in the second half, you can run maybe a 5:55, and that's going to counteract it and you're still going to get your 30-minute time. That may work better for some people. Just work out and again and see what works for you. And you can this is how a lot of elite runners run their races, especially when you sprint the last K. That is still going to be a negative split. Most people will do this naturally because you get enthusiastic as it's towards the end of the race. Now, the most common way to run your race is your even split, which is run your first half the same speed as the second half. You don't speed up, you don't slow down, you just hit your pace, you work out your pace before the race, and you go out and you stick with that, and you're just going to stay even throughout the whole thing. And when you look at your graphs afterwards, if you've got a running watch, that should be nice and even, and you shouldn't be speeding up at any parts or slowing down. This is very good if you've got a nice flat course because you can just keep the same pace going, maintaining it. And to be honest, in my perception, this is probably the most efficient way to run because you don't need to use much lactate in your legs, and you won't have any lactate build up because you're just running nice and evenly. Your body can settle into the pace and you can just keep going with it, and you shouldn't really have too much issues. Because obviously when you get towards the end of the race, you may not want to do a negative split because you're tired. So just try and maintain that same pace and then you shouldn't really have any issues. So you really want to be running on your pace or below it and just keep it going. Now, probably the most unusual way of doing this is setting out a race strategy. Now, obviously every single race has a strategy, but this one is when you have different Ks at different speeds. Now, I did try this once when I was trying to run my sub 20 because I wanted to try and make it as easy as possible. But this really didn't work out for me, and I wouldn't have come out with the time. I tried like practicing for different races. I tried for a 3k just to practice and work it out, and it really didn't work for me. But for some people it may work. So for example, let's take a 30-minute again. So you may want to run your first K and maybe a 6:05. And then your second K, a 5:55, and you play around with the speed to try and make it easier on yourself. So you may have a fast K, way quicker than your goal pace, and then you drop it down so you can recover, and then you can have a quick last K, and you can work out what works for you, and that may work for you, but it doesn't work for everyone. So experiment it with a shorter distance before you actually go out to do your PB attempt. And yeah, it may actually come out to give you a really, really good time. Now, my go-to way to run a 5k race for a PB is running the first K quicker than any other K in the race, and the rest will be a lot slower. My idea behind this is I bank time on the first K. So for me, I am an 18:34 5k runner, which for most people is quite a quick time, and obviously I'm still constantly trying to work on that. But when I went out with the plan. I was going to run my first K at 3:30, and that's what I did. I ran it stupidly quick, a lot quicker than what I needed to be. A 3:30-minute K pace, and my goal pace to get 15 seconds in. So if I went out at a 3 minutes 45 second minute K pace and I maintained that for the whole way through, I'd have come out with, I think it was 18:45, which would still be 15 seconds in. And that would have been all right. But I was thinking if I went out for a fast first K at 3:30, that's going to bank even more time. So then if I had any falters in pace or I had a little niggle anywhere in my body, I can overcome that and I have some time banked, so I can afford to get those seconds off, and I'll still have about 30 to 35 seconds inside, so I can crawl it back, and hopefully I shouldn't fall too far outside the time, and I shouldn't really have any issues. And as you can see, it worked for me because I came out with 18:34. So thank you very much everyone for watching my video. Don't forget to subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and share with your friends so we can build up an even bigger channel here. We're closing on that 100 subscriber mark. I'll be probably doing something special for that. I don't know what yet, but I'll have a think about it. So yeah, thank you very much, and I'll see you in my next video.